Some of us are chronically nervous or anxious when we have to confront other people or have a high stake conversation. But rest of us, we also go through bouts of anxiety and nervousness or moments of deep nervousness, and we start exhibiting certain signs that kind of gives us away. Today, let's identify those signs, and many of these will be very relatable to you, stuff you've heard before. But there is one thing that nobody ever talks about, which is something I'm going to address today in this video. By the way, my name is Rai. I'm a former radio and television host. Out here, I'm your public speaking and communications coach. And before we start the list, why don't you subscribe to this channel? And I pose for the thumbnail picture with what I do when I'm nervous. And it's usually this. So, I hope you subscribe to this channel or like this video if you want to. And now let's get to it. All right, one of the most common signs that we see when people get nervous are the fidgeting of the fingers. In fact, if you've ever seen an old school Bollywood film where there is a song and dance sequence, you will often find, almost always actually find, the heroine or the actress, looking at the hero with coy, shy eyes, and she will be doing this. It's almost like a dance step, but it's kind of a universal sign that she is slightly uncomfortable and shy. And it is definitely one of the signs that, if not like a dance step routine like this, we do this. You must have seen a child, clasping his or her hands together in nervousness, and it's very common. Yes, twisting your hair or kind of running your hands to the hair, fixing your bangs, basically scratching your head. All these are subtle signs of nervousness that a lot of people do exhibit. In fact, you might have even seen actresses during interviews, actresses who are the most confident people in the world in front of the camera. Even then, in front of the microphone, when they are kind of being interviewed, they would end up fixing their hair a lot. And it's a sign they are anxious or nervous in the moment. People also touch their faces a lot. Men do that a lot because they probably have an excuse of kind of checking their beard or something like that. So they do that a lot. And also, sometimes we clear our throats. And, that's like when we are a little unsure of ourselves. That's when we do that. Oftentimes, people will completely close their eyes while talking because although they're answering very simple things, they totally know the answers too. Even then, they need to kind of close their eyes and shut off the rest of the world to communicate. So you'll find people closing their eyes and saying, yeah, and I wore this, and then, they'll try to recollect what they were doing with their closed eyes. But you don't have to close your eyes all that much. It is not so much of a memory problem as it is trying to calm yourself problem. And it seems to me that the moment our bodies realize that we're not being able to soothe ourselves inside, we start fixing something outside. And this is a classic human phenomena. You will notice that people who criticize other people a lot are people actually struggling with their shortcomings inside it. And it kind of takes an external shape. And this is one of those classic cases that we do in small little ways when we are nervous. And that's why a lot of times we'll be fixing our clothes. We'll fix our jacket, our scarf, or our sleeves or our collar. Small little gestures we'll make. It's like we're trying to fix something externally when there's nothing to be fixed. And you will notice these are things people often do. You've heard of them before, but I will tell you about something now that is very rarely talked about, but is also a big sign. When people are anxious or nervous, they will touch not only themselves, but things around them. So you will often find, people when they're anxious touching the walls, or they're standing in front of a chair, grabbing the chair. They're sitting in front of a table, they will touch stuff on the table, or they will run their hands through a kind of texture. So it could be the handles of the chair or something like that. It seems like the texture actually help us break certain thought patterns in our heads, or some kind of, it's kind of a relief for some of us. I've seen this in a lot of people, touching the walls, doors, walking into a room and randomly touching the furniture for no reason at all. is a clear sign the person is uncomfortable. And now next time you watch a movie and you see a person nervous, see them do these things as little gestures of showing that they're nervous. It's kind of a method acting, if you will. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, do like this video, then subscribe to this channel, because we have a ton of very practical videos on communication skills, little hacks and tricks and signs that we share on this channel to help everybody do a better job at communications, because after all, it's not something taught in school, and we learn on the job that is life.